He murdered, raped, and tortured innocent civilians, and his cruelty earned him the nickname the Terminator. Bosco Ntaganda was one of the most feared warlords in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And the International Criminal Court just ruled that he'll spend the next 30 years behind bars. It's the ICC's toughest ever sentence for a convicted war criminal. But for a man who committed some of modern Africa's worst atrocities, is it enough? Well, let us ask Michael Tshibangu. He's the president of the Association for Development and Democracy in Congo, a non-profit organization working for the development of the DRC. He's also an advisor to opposition politician Moise Katumbi. So your immediate reaction to the news, is this justice?
Well, we get a feeling of justice finally being done. This is a person that for the past decades or so has been terrorizing the population in Eastern DRC, and so ruthless to the extent that the people nicknamed him Terminator, because he went about terminating people's life, killing population, and he went to a point that there was the feeling of impunity. To see such a person being given such a lengthy sentence is actually, for us, a beginning of something good, of justice being done. And we hope that it serves as an example to other warlords in DRC
right,
who are doing what Bosco has been doing.
The DRC was a playground for a lot of powers, especially at the height of the conflict, I guess, in the 1990s. And he was, Ntaganda, a hired gun for a lot of people who were more powerful than he was, at the head of nation states at different times. Is there a feeling that he's kind of a middle-level warlord, but there were people more important or more nasty that got away with it?
Well, in terms of Bosco, of course, there are people who are higher level than he was. But I think this is a start. And unfortunately, in DRC, we've had the habit of rewarding people who engage in such behavior. Bosco himself was a general in a DRC army. Can you imagine a person who has been committing atrocity, rather than being punished, he was rewarded? And of course, we think justice should go further. There are people higher up who have done also created rebel groups which have engaged in similar activity to that of the Bosco Ntaganda, and we feel that whilst this is the beginning, we should go all the way up, and justice should be done so that the victim can at least have something. Those people have suffered a lot. You can imagine women being raped, and in some occasion they forced children to rape their own mothers. So they've done some terrible things, and we feel that justice has to be done, and this is the beginning.
Well, when you add up all the individual counts, it goes up to more than 200 years or so, but he's got the maximum sentence, or the highest sentence, since the ICC was even founded, 30 years. In the context of things, is that something that is a deterrent? Is that something that others would look at and think, oh no, maybe I need to come clean about my crimes?
Indeed, it sends out a strong message. 30 years is quite a lengthy sentence, and for people like that, we feel it's sad because they've not had that. We've not had any form of justice. The victim have not had any form of justice. So this indeed is an example of what could happen to other warlords who in DRC, because as we speak, there are still other militias who in the eastern part of DRC are terrorizing the population, killing and raping women. So yes, this is an example, and in the case of Bosco, it's worth noting that this is just only concern one area of DRC. Bosco and his group went about doing the same thing in other parts of DRC, and there may be another case brought against him. But yes, it sets us a clear example that those justice will catch up with those who engage in such activities. It's only a matter of time.
So all things considered, this was a good day for justice in Congo.
Absolutely. This was a very good day for justice, a country that,
right,
as you've mentioned at the beginning, that has went through years of war, decades of war, and a lot of atrocity committed. And those who committed atrocity were, if anything, given immunity and rewarded, which was something that was totally unacceptable for us. And to see that finally we have somebody like Bosco being given such a life sentence, we feel that it is a very good day for justice, and we hope that it will go further, it will continue, that they will go around and do the same thing for other warlords who are still doing what Bosco did.
Michael Tshibangu, good to talk to you. Looking forward to having you back on the program sometime soon. I thank you very much for joining us here on the Newsmakers.